Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Can he spank other butts? Yes he can, 'cause he's Spider-Man.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Hot.
What a lovely day!
Welcome back everybody to another Favorite Friday video. Today I'll be talking about Spider-Man, which was released in 2002. It's hard to watch Spider-Man and not think about all the memes Tobey Maguire has gone through throughout these years. Memes have ruined my life. Spider-Man was released in 2002 and starred Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, a young high school student that was bitten by a radioactive spider. After his Uncle Ben is brutally murdered, he vows to protect New York City from all evil doings. I grew up on Spider-Man. I loved everything Spider-Man, this television show, the video games, just Spider-Man in general was awesome. For the longest time, Spider-Man was my favorite superhero. But now my superhero crush is Captain America, but Spider-Man will always have my heart. And I remember watching Spider-Man a lot as a kid and being amazed at seeing my favorite superhero on screen for the first time, because we didn't get many superhero movies in the early 2000s. We got like X-Men and Blade and a couple other films like Batman and Superman, but I would say Spider-Man is the one I watched the most as a kid. And this movie really showed me why I like Spider-Man. And the one reason why I really like Spider-Man is the character of Peter Parker. And definitely Tobey Maguire is my favorite Peter Parker so far. And he does an excellent job of capturing what Peter Parker really stands for. Andrew Garfield did pretty good as Peter Parker, capturing the humor side of Peter Parker. But Tobey Maguire was stubborn, he was smart, he was brave. He felt like an average high school student. And I've read most of the early comic books about Spider-Man, and I definitely think that Tobey Maguire did an excellent job of capturing those scenes of Spider-Man. Peter Parker had to deal with a lot in high school. Nowadays, high school students have to deal with forgetting their fidget spinners at home, how to skip fourth period, and if their dab is on fleek. Those are things high school students have to worry about. Peter Parker had legitimate issues as a student. He had his uncle that died, he had his best friend that was dating the girl of his dreams, and his best friend's dad was a supervillain. I would say those are legitimate issues. And when Peter Parker discovered his powers for the first time, there was so much fun in it. I mean, an average student discovering his powers, of course he's gonna beat up the high school bully, of course he's gonna climb the wall and swing through the cities. He did everything an average student would do. I would say my favorite part of this movie is definitely the beginning. It has a really nice pace for it. It's just showing him discovering his powers for the first time. And in the middle, I feel like there's a different pacing style going for it, and it honestly feels a bit rushed. We get Peter leaving Aunt May's to live with Harry, and Harry starts dating Mary Jane, and then we learn who Norman Osborn is. There's just so many things going on in the middle, and I felt like it was so rushed. A lot of things just quickly happen in the middle, and it honestly takes away from me enjoying the middle part of this film. Then we have Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn, or the Green Goblin, and I think this outfit is atrocious. I mean, the comic book Green Goblin wasn't that fancy either, but this one was just weird looking. But I do think that Willem Dafoe did a great job of playing Norman Osborn, and I like the conflict between Norman Osborn and Peter Parker. It wasn't Spider-Man and Green Goblin fighting, it was also Peter Parker and Norman Osborn fighting as well. The end was satisfying with the battle sequences, but the middle chunk of the film is what really dragged for me, because the pacing just was so rushed, and I couldn't latch on to some of the action sequences, like when we discover, like the first action sequence with the Green Goblin and Harry and Mary Jane dating. I didn't really care about any of those things because they just felt so rushed. But I really do like Spider-Man. I do think that Tobey Maguire did an excellent job playing Peter Parker. I like the conflict between Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Norman Osborn / Green Goblin. I thought James Franco, Kirsten Dunst, everybody did a great job in here. I really liked the suit and him swinging through the cities. And there is some humor in here, especially by J. Jonah Jameson. I thought he was funny, and I think that the actor did a great job playing him. So overall, Spider-Man is one of my favorite films. It's one of the first superhero films that I really watched and really enjoyed, and Spider-Man will always be one of my favorite superheroes. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Spider-Man an A-. Stay tuned for my review of Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, which people hate. I haven't seen that in years. This is all in preparation for Spider-Man Homecoming, the new solo Spider-Man film starring Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in that film. Really curious about how that one will go. So thank you guys for watching. As always, you guys are the best. Stay tuned this weekend for reviews of 47 Meters Down and All Eyes on Me, the Tupac biopic. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you stay classy, YouTube.